All right, it says we are live. So, welcome. And sorry for the temporary, or well, not temporary, but the technical difficulties. It's the joys of migrating from one server to the next, just midnight strike in the rear end. So, hopefully, he'll get that sorted in the next couple of days. I told him to take the rest of the night off because he's been working on that all day today. He's been emailing some of us, giving us updates on what's going on. So, yeah, he's been working on that all day. Still having issues. Told him to take the rest of the day off. So, right now, anyway, getting on with who we have with us. First one was G23. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing good. Thanks for the invite.
Yep. Next, we had Rob D, aka New York Outcast. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Good evening, everybody.
And making his triumphant return, we have the kingpin of crime, David Bowling. How are you tonight, sir?
What's happening, y'all?
So, after all this, I don't know what the hell to talk about. Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
Yeah, I could complain about the lack of ammo at my local store, but I don't think it's going to do any good.
Yeah. Anybody hear anything more on this supposed ATF wanting to go after a particular brand or not brand but model of arm brace?
I heard they were just going to go after all arm braces.
Yeah, somebody's starting that rumor, but if you read what the congressman actually said and wrote, they're going after one particular model of arm brace, and I'm wondering if it's like the shockwave blade.
I think they were going after the ones that are like adjustable past a certain like length
Yeah, shockwave just
and
came
have.
out with the one that does that. Yeah, we got Pat out there and Buck. So there we go. Now we got a full panel.
All right, I'm here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm here.
All right. We were just talking a little bit about the alleged ATF going after one model of bumps, not bump stock. I want to say bump stock arm brace.
Yeah,
Uh,
did anybody ever figure out which ones?
no, but it's the Congressman Gates, however how you pronounce his last name, said that it's one particular model. I'm thinking it's the Shockwave Blade. One, it was what was used in Dayton when the guy went and shot up the nightclub or outside the nightclub with the AR-15 pistol he had the Shockwave blade on it. And two, that's the most unbrace like pistol brace there is. Let's be perfectly honest. That thing is about as much of a brace as any other AR-15 stock is an arm brace. It doesn't attach in any way, shape, or form to your arm or brace against your arm like all the other ones do, right? You look at the SB Tactical, they strap to your arm. You look at the tail hook, that hooks to your arm. The Shockwave blade just sits there.
Huh. All I heard about it was is, after if they go through with it, they say a whole lot of people will become felons overnight.
Oh yeah, that's one of
That's
the
about
highest
all I
selling ones.
heard about
But
it.
yeah, that's probably the highest selling brace because it's the cheapest. You know, you look at the SB Tacticals, you're approaching $100 or more. The tail hook, you're approaching $100 or more. The Shockwave, you're paying $50. So a lot of people went with those because of just how cheap they are. And another reason why I think, again, one of the reasons I think that they're going after that it's going to be that one is you now have people who are making quote unquote stocks that are smaller than the Shockwave blade is, thinner or just as thin but less material on them. A perfect example is that one company that made the little attachment thing that went on the back of a Glock pistol, and then you hit the spring and you hit the switch and it pops out. And they made the chassis system or the P320, and they have two versions. One's a brace, which kind of maybe is offset and has a little bit of a nub at the bottom that they call a hook, but they also have that same thing. It's just as thin and no material behind it that is centered, and they call that a stock. So I'm thinking it's the Shockwave blade they're going after, or the Keck blade now, because now Keck bought Shockwave brand, the company made it, and those people were sketchy anyway. I mean, if you look at their history, they were taking letters that were written for SB Tactical and saying that it applied to their products too at one point. You know, any approval that the SB Tactical got, the people that were making the Shockwave stuff was saying it applied to them. And it's not the way it works.
Yeah, I was gonna wait to see which one they said it was before I get one.
Yeah. And it, you know, even more so now with the blade, because they just came out with the adjustable one. And for all intents and purposes, when they made that thing where they had the adjustable version, that's just a thin AR-15 stock. It's not even a brace. I mean, this may piss somebody off, but honest to God, if I were working for the ATF in their technical division and that came across my desk looking for approval as a brace, I'm labeling it as a stock. There's nothing about that thing that says brace. Counterweight, maybe. Yeah. but brace, no. There's no. It doesn't brace in any way, shape, or form against your arm like all the other ones do. And like I said, with companies now putting that stocks that have less material on them than the blade does, you know, it's just a matter of time. And I honestly think that's the one they're going after.
You know, if they just repealed all the illegal gun laws that are targeting black people, which they all are, we could do away with the ATF.
Mm-hmm. No, because you still got tobacco, alcohol, explosives, and stuff that they regulate as well.
Is that a joke? Like, or do you seriously think that laws target black people?
A lot of the gun laws do disproportionately go after the black person. If you want to actually look at it,
yeah. But let's have a straight up discussion about this. You can't say disproportionately go after black people. Prove that. Tell me what law exactly disproportionately goes after black people intentionally. So in this room right here, Rob is the only one that's going to be held accountable for jaywalking, where all the rest of us get off for jaywalking because we've got white skin, he's got black skin. Show me one law.
Uh-oh. Did Rob just read for he's probably having phone issues with it being with having to move over to the duck. He's probably having phone issues because phones and the duck don't always get along. But the only one I could think of off the top of my head that maybe might have that apply would be the NFA, because that tax stamp in the time period that it came out, that it was put out. You know, 1934, it was the height of segregation still. $200 for your typical black person, that would not be doable for just about the majority of blacks at that time period. So if there was one, I would say probably the NFA. The rest, I don't see it.
If a black person tries to get a suppressor today and a white person tries to get a suppressor today, how much do they both pay for the tax stamp?
Oh yeah, my point wasn't today. I mean, I'm talking about when it was written.
Okay. Well, it's not that way now. If it was written wrong, I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in the past that we can't change. But standing right here, right now, saying that any law that I can think of, that's why you have to show me one that goes after black people intentionally. You have to prove that to me.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, that's why I specifically prefaced that when it was first written and passed. You could maybe make the case for the NFA, but the rest of the stuff, no.
So, California, 1967, the Black Panthers marched on the state capitol with open firearms. They were open carrying firearms at the time. That was legal, and they were able to take them inside. 3 days later, they introduced the law to make that illegal.
Okay, how's that target just the blacks?
They did that in Virginia yesterday.
That goes after every group. How's that go after just black people?
They introduced the law right after a black organization did that, not after any other.
Okay, one group did it, so they passed a law. How's that affect everybody of just that skin color?
The law was introduced because they did it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. It was introduced because a group.
Look, we've got evidence that this just happened. The last couple of rallies that people have had, the one in Virginia. Now, I mean, what was it? I can't remember the county or whatever, but there's another county in Virginia that just banned being able to carry any kind of weapons and firearms on their government property. So there's a whole bunch of black people that were at those rallies. There's a whole bunch of every different culture and race at those rallies. It just happened. So that's the problem that people get in. If you get caught up in that trap that believe that there's this massive amount of systematic racism out there, but no one can ever point to it. And I'm not picking on G or anything. I appreciate his mind. I think it's cool that he's free to talk and express himself. But that's what a lot of people fall into, is believing that this is going on. It's not. It's not happening. I've said it a million times. Get a notebook and a pen. Carry it around with you for a week. Write down every racist, bigoted, homophobic, stereotypical bad thing, the boogeyman thing out there that you find in your week, and then come back here and read it out. Bet you have an empty book. 99% of the people that will ever be going out of their house that day are going to have a fine day and not find any kind of boogeyman, racist, and capitalistic devil trying to steal from the poor to get rich. That's not happening.
Hey, can everybody hear me okay?
No, you're pretty staticky.
You're staticky.
Yeah, you're super staticky.
All right, let me change it up.
Anyway, we've been joined by Stacy now. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. And didn't get a chance to introduce Pat either. Pat jumped in while we were having our little discussion. How are you tonight, Pat?
Oh, doing pretty good. Had a good Father's Day. Hope everybody else out there's having a good Father's Day. And yeah, too many bacon cheeseburgers off the grill.
Yeah, my wife was going to do steak today, but it wasn't thawed, so we ended up with Burger King. Well, you were going to do beef fajitas with steak. But yeah, she had butterfly steak. She was thawing. She was going to cut it, and she went to go start cutting it, and it wasn't thawed all the way. So we ended up with Burger King instead. Yep, fajitas have to wait till tomorrow. But yeah, that's what happened. Anybody else have any thoughts on what we were just talking about? I don't know if Stacey.
Actually, I kind of jumped in whenever G23 was talking about the Black Panthers and how that was kind of related to them. And it's not related to the group. It's like anything else. When something happens, like, for example, right before I started the ambulance company, they had to smoke outside. So one of the girls at night went outside to smoke, and she was followed in. She had the bay open, so she was followed in, and she was attacked. And stabbed. She lived, but she was attacked. So they enforced rules, more security measures. So it wasn't because of the color, more of this happened. We need to keep it from happening again. Not so much based on race, just the fact that it happened and they had to make more rules or a law to keep it from happening again.
Right. That was my point. I mean, they just had, it wasn't necessarily that they were a bunch of black guys that did it. It was just that there was a bunch of guys that did it. You know?
You can go back and look through all the Jim Crow laws and segregation laws, and there's a bunch of them that are still on the books all over the country because they were never taken off the books. But you have to show me the ones that are actually applied right now, and show me where the bias toward man, woman, child, whatever is there, and then we can have a discussion about that. We can change that, but we can't just say racism. And I'm not saying that's what Jesus. I'm just saying in general. We can't just throw it out there as something and then not have anything to back it up with. That's the people we're fighting against. That's those idiots out there in the street lighting stuff on fire and pulling statues down of people they never heard of.
Yeah, pretty much. My favorite one was somebody pointed out the other day. You know what the William Penn statue is in Philadelphia. Somebody pointed out, yeah, let them tear down that statue. In case you don't know, it's 500 feet up on top of Philadelphia City Hall. That would be funny to see him try.
Somebody will try it, I'm sure.
Oh, that would be hilarious. It's a big dome. I mean, Philadelphia City Hall, it's got a dome like the U.S. Capitol building does, and on top of it's a statue of William Penn.
I hope they video record it.
Yeah.
Should I be more of a stick in the mud, or should I just let that one go?
Well, you do you, Kingpin.
The thing that's going to happen is I'd love to see one of those idiots climb up there and try and pull it off. That would be hilarious. I mean, the memes would be never ending. But what's going to happen is they'll get City Hall to take it down. Your tax dollars, Philadelphians will pay for it, and they'll take it down.
Yeah. We were talking after Gary's show on Friday. We were talking about Frank Rizzo. I don't know how many of you guys know and here know who Frank Rizzo is, but he was the former police chief and mayor of Philadelphia, and he didn't put up with anything. Okay, and there was all kinds of instances where he was borderline racist, and people in Philadelphia didn't care. They voted for the guy anyway. His one campaign slogan was "Vote White," for crying out loud, right? And he still got everybody in the city voting for him. Nobody cared. Why? Because he didn't put up with anything. If anybody did the crap they're doing now, he'd be out there himself in a tuxedo busting skulls. You know how I know that? Because it happened. Somebody was starting some nonsense. This was when he was mayor. He wasn't even police chief anymore at this point. He was getting into this gala thing where he was in his tuxedo and stuff. The call came out that this was happening. He took off to the scene in his tuxedo, took billy club off of one of the cops, and jumped right in there with the cops smacking people with the billy clubs. He didn't put up with anything from anybody. And he was loved by the city of Philadelphia for it. Now you got them wanting to tear down his statue. At the time he was loved by everybody. Now all of a sudden, well, we got to tear that guy's statue down. Pat, you're all kinds of static and stuff, man. I can hear you. Cav Trooper.
Okay, well, the duck apparently hates every single piece of tech that I have except for the speakerphone on my phone, evidently.
Sounds fantastic.
Cav Trooper 19D out there on the YouTube site. They're at this. Fun fact: used to be unable to build a building higher than the William Penn's hat on that statue. So, interesting little factoid, I suppose. But, anybody else have anything on this front that they want to talk about? Wow. Nobody? All right. Yeah, we got to figure out something else to talk about, I guess. Let's see. What else has been going on? What do you guys think about the Trump rally numbers? They're saying not a whole lot of people showed up. Now, do you think that's because of fears of the resurgence that everybody keeps seeing in media that COVID's resurging, blah, blah, blah? Do you think it's because of the mob that showed up outside that people were afraid to go in? Or do you think that a bunch of leftist groups were buying up tickets and to try and make it look bad?
I think they're buying up tickets to make it look bad.
I think it's kind of all of the above.
I would say a little of all the above. Plus, you cannot trust the numbers that are being released. I mean, you'd have to see who, like the digital scanners of each ticket, and see how many tickets were actually scanned to know how many people were truly there. Because I've heard probably like 15 different numbers of how many people were there.
Yeah. Well, another thing, when you look at video and stuff of it, there were a lot of empty seats. My wife's like, "Oh, it was full." And no, it wasn't. The video that I've seen and everything from different people that were there were a lot of empty seats. But yeah, I agree about all the above. I think it's a little bit of everything. And when people were leaving, they were getting harassed by the protesters to the point where the police had to start using non-lethal means of subduing the quote-unquote protesters.
Yeah, I believe if I would have went up there to that rally, I believe I would have stood outside. At least that way I can be prepared. I know once you go inside, you can't carry in there.
Totally agree with you, Buck.
Yeah. I agree with what Clover's out there saying. He's out there on his Fud Life channel. At the end of the day, the optics is what matters, not the numbers. The left knows this. Yeah, I wholly agree. Which is why I think it might be a little bit of all the above. The left may have bought up some of the tickets so people couldn't get in there. Therefore, the numbers look low because the left buying tickets, they're not going to show up. And then you probably did have some folks who were worried about the virus all of a sudden. All of a sudden, right before Trump is meant to have this rally, all of a sudden we get these numbers saying that the virus is on a resurgence. And then you did have a mob outside that, as was shown when people were leaving, were out there threatening people. So, I mean, I think it's a combination of all three, but definitely the optics thing is part of it for sure. And Snob said that the official count was 6,200 out of 19,000 that building would be able to handle. So yeah, numbers were definitely down, but there's definitely reasons why.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of variables in there, but I guarantee you, with all the protesting and everything, and I knew this was going to happen, you could about see it coming from a mile away, that as soon as he planned that rally and everything, as soon as that rally came close, that everybody was going to say, oh, COVID numbers are clear up and all this and that. And it's like, yeah, but why weren't you guys saying that when all the protesters were out there and burning everything down? And so I don't know. I can't trust the mainstream media anymore.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Pat, I mean, as soon as the protests over police violence and all that crap started and you had the riots and everything, all of a sudden COVID became the back page story. Now all of a sudden Trump wants to go out there and rally, and you got that on the front page.
Right. And I think, wasn't it CNN, if I remember right, that was encouraging people to go out and protest and not even mentioning anything about the COVID while doing it?
Oh yeah, 1 minute you'd have CNN saying it's perfectly okay for these protesters to be out there, but they're doing social distancing as much as they can, and they're wearing masks and everything, so they'll be fine. And yet on the other end of the next story segment in the next block, protesters wanting states opened are bad because they're going to get everybody sick. So one protest good, healthy, other protest bad, not healthy. Make up your minds, media. You can't have it both ways.
Yes, they can.
No, they think they can.
No,
Because people are stupid. No, they think they can because the people they're telling are stupid and they'll believe anything they tell them.
Exactly. They get away with it and nobody stops them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the reason that all these statues get pulled down, all this graffiti's getting everywhere, stuff's getting lit on fires, nobody stopped them. You know, if you took 2 seconds, you'd clear Chaz off the street in about half a day, wrestling all those people up and bumping them in the head a little bit and moving them on. You don't even have to get really brutal with them. If you stand up to them and don't let them start, they won't start in the first place. This was absolute. This whole thing, the same thing with the Trump rally. It doesn't matter if no one was at that rally. All that really matters is if you believe that there's people out there that approve of what's going on, or people out there that want this nonsense to stop and get on with their daily lives. If you believe that there's more people that want to burn shit down and tear stuff down, then we've got a big problem. If you believe that your average everyday citizen doesn't like watching stuff get ripped down and buildings get lit on fire and people get killed and cities get taken over, then I think we're going to be all right. So it doesn't matter how many people were at the Trump rally. That's what the media, I get all twitchful I've had about the media. They're telling us that this matters, and it doesn't matter. Who cares who matters? It matters whether or not the message is still strong. This isn't about Donald Trump. If you continue to think that this is about Donald Trump, you're continuing to believe what they're telling you. This is about us and what kind of future we're going to have. Either we're going to let Nancy Pelosi and AOC destroy this country, which in turn will destroy the world, whether you like to think that America is great or not. No America, no civilization. Be prepared for that, because we make the world possible. That's a fact. And when you destroy what we have and put in what they think they're going to have, no one in history has ever been able to perform it. All these psychopaths were a lot smarter than Nancy Pelosi. Whether you like the Nazis or not, there's a lot of smart dudes in there that almost took over the planet. And thankfully they were stopped because they couldn't trust each other, and they made a whole bunch. I mean, we could go into that forever. You know, so either we're going to have America worth living in, or we're going to have a world gone. So which one do you think is more possible? I don't know. Maybe I'm done.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about I don't know if you saw it, the Rasmussen poll that said 57% of the country agree with the violent protests. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't think so.
No, you can't trust. Well, it's just like the politicians and the big media. You can't trust polls either.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially that one. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, 57%. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
holy cow, that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody definitely put their finger on the scale on that one.
You got to wonder how that question was worded and then how they framed it after the fact. They probably asked something like, "Do you agree with people's right to go out and protest?" And 57% will say yes, and then they'll rephrase it. 57% of people agree with the violent protest. That Jade thing, that's probably what they did. Because that's the way they work.
Yeah, probably, 'cause that's the way half the legislation is wrote.
Yeah, Cav Trooper out there says, bias pool if I ever heard one. Yeah, exactly. I would love to see what the breakdown on Republican to Democrat was on that too. It's like the poll that CNN did where they had Biden up by 17 points. It was like 75% Democrat, 25% Republican. Like, what the hell did they expect to get as a result? You know, when you got the numbers of who you're pulling skewed that much, you know, you're going to get the number you want.
Oh, speaking of crazy Uncle Joe, or weird Uncle Joe, or whatever you want to call him, I was on Travis P11's page here about a day ago, and I watched 2 of his videos trying to get caught up with everybody's stuff, and both of those videos had that stupid Joe Biden bite on a freaking gun channel. Have you guys seen that one where he goes, "Can I ask for 2 seconds of your time? Please help me, blah, blah, blah." And it's just like, what? Really? This is on 2 different gun channels? Hitting the wrong place.
I've seen a couple of those.
And it's
with Joe
like,
Biden.
but yeah, I just thought that was crazy that it was on, well, it was on, 1 was on Sandhills and 2 was on Travis P11's. That's where I saw them both, and it's like, wow, no wonder you guys can't win nothing because you can't even target the right freaking people. But I just thought that was funny, so.
And Clover puts out there that most gun channels are get bargain basement advertising and political ads are brought in and bought in such numbers they are bargain basement. Yeah, they're probably the cheapest of the ads that people can buy and put up there. And they'll be smattered everywhere. And anybody doesn't think that YouTube has a bias on that front, yeah, look at some of the policies they put in.
So, Pat, did you listen to it, the whole thing, or did you click off of it?
As soon as it said skip ad, I was off of that just as soon as I could press the button.
Yeah, that's same way I was.
You didn't wait to see if he had a gap in the video? Come on, man. That's why you watch Joe Biden to find out what he's going to do, what his next gaffe is, so you can meme about it.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it that way. I should have listened to the whole spiel and went on a rant about it tonight.
Yeah. Speaking of what G23 put out there, on a similar note, because he was talking about the mayor and governor letting Chaz until allowing all that crap until Chaz goes away. Did you see where Minnesota's legislature voted down the proposed police reform in that state, and the governor was not happy, to say the least.
Yeah, I saw that. What was the vote on that? Did you ever hear on that, on how many people actually voted that down?
No, I didn't see the numbers to know.
Hey, real quick, Rich Rob's in the back room.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, him and Mystic back there. Who do I bring in? I'll bring Rob in.
You can sit me in the back. I gotta go do some stuff.
Sit me in the back.
I gotta go do some stuff real quick, so go ahead.
Okay, I'll put you in the back there, Kingpin, and then I'll bring Mystic back in. Where'd she go? Darn it, she moved. Oh, well, I went to click on her and she wasn't there no more. All right. This is the one thing.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, Rob?
Not too much. I was gonna say if somebody needs a spot or whatever, just let me know. So I don't want to hog anybody's time here.
Kingpin said I can throw him in the back. So Kingpin's going to the green room. He's going to go eat all his shrimp.
I'll
And
say I have video editing I still have to do. So if
alrighty.
How's Rob tonight?
Doing okay. Just had an unexpected guest stop by with his kids, so I could multitask, but trying to triple task, I figured probably wouldn't be the best thing, so had to jump off real quick. But besides that, doing okay. Got lucky, scored some 9mm out of town today, so that was cool.
Nice. Is that still pretty hard to come by up around in your area?
Yeah, my local area hasn't seen it in over a week now. I keep calling and checking, and they're still waiting for it to come in. So was able to, like I said, about an hour and 15 minutes out of town. Place I had to pass today anyway. I stopped in, and they had a little bit of variety up there. So bit overpriced, but at least it's something. So trying to keep the flow coming in so I don't depreciate my stock going out shooting as normal. So
All right. Who wants to get put in the back room so I can bring Calaveras in?
You
I
can
will.
put me-
Oh, you can kick me. That's not a problem.
I can go in the back. Don't matter.
Yeah, G23 volunteered first, so he gets put in the back. So how you tonight, Pickle?
I'm doing all right. How about you guys?
Not too bad.
What's going on, Pickle?
Hey,
Besides, it's only pickle.
Only
It's Mr.
Pickle.
Thanks. Am I echoing or someone else?
Yeah, I think that's somebody else.
Could be me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on mobile, so that's right. Don't think I have YouTube opened up on my phone, but no guarantees.
Gary said something interesting. Let me put this up here on the screen for you guys on mobile. That StreamYard's going to start supporting hosting via mobile device coming Tuesday, so maybe that'll start being more reliable for you guys on mobile as well.
But is it going to continue to overheat people's phones like it does to Squib?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Maybe it'll be more friendly towards your mobile devices. They're going to be having hosting via mobile. Maybe they'll figure something out to where it'll work with the other issues that y'all guys have been having with your mobile connections as well.
And be
Boy,
nice.
I've got a little trap door on the back side of my phone where my chips, where my cards and everything go into. I have to open that, put my phone down on the desk, and then blow the fan into it so that way it just doesn't turn nuclear hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 7, it's not the Chaz anymore. It's the Chop now. Yeah, apparently they decided that they didn't want to be their own separate country anymore, so it's not the Chaz, it's now the Chop. Instead of being the autonomous zone, it's the occupied protest or some nonsense.
Yeah, but now businesses have hired a private security guard.
Just name it Crazy Town.
Yeah, right. Name it Crazy Town. And they've actually stated they want the French Revolution, because when they were announced that the name change was, what happened to the people that didn't go along with the French Revolution? Chop. You know, it was. I don't know if you guys saw that video clip. It was bad. But yeah, they're now the Chop, and they want the French Revolution. Do they realize that the people that started the French Revolution are the last ones that ended up getting chopped?
Well,
that would require them learning history and not just erasing it.
This is true.
Damn, you beat me to it.
Yeah, that's real. Is this just a random BS session tonight, or do we actually have topics?
No, we've just been randomly BSing about shit that's been going on. We didn't.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we finished up the Western thing last week, so I really didn't have anything this week. So we'll just whatever.
Ooh, who's on fire?
That's Pat, I believe. Let me find Gary's thing so I can take it back off the screen.
Well, that's no fair. All I can show you is,
Oh,
my
no,
nice
it's Rob.
little neighborhood. I'm renting.
People keep moving around. Pat was down there in that corner not that long ago. Now he's up there.
Yeah, I know. I made it up beside you somehow.
That's what I
Like,
thought
look,
when
clear.
I had Gary speaking. No, it's Rob down there in that corner now.
Well, I definitely like Rob's thinking tonight. That actually sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah, relax, get some s'mores going.
Hey, Rob.
Hello.
I'll be catching a plane. I'll see you in a minute.
What was that?
Said I'll be catching a plane. I'll see you in a minute.
Come on over. There's plenty of room. So.
What are you munching on there, Pickle? Ah, old school.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm a black licorice lover, so this stuff's good.
I ain't had them in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I don't have any black licorice, but I have this.
That's not licorice at all.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Twizzlers aren't bad.
I didn't say they're bad. I just said they're not licorice.
Yeah. It's probably not.
Getting mad because they aren't getting the red vines in just the strawberry. I had to go Twizzlers. If I'd bought the combo pack of the strawberry and the black licorice would have sat there and nobody would have ate it.
Part of why I like having black licorice around my house, so I'm the only one that will eat it.
Yep. So, you guys gonna get out there and get a fire going at your place or what?
I would, but the neighbors might frown upon it.
Yeah, I can't do that here.
Yeah, you're only supposed to have cooking fires in the city, so that's why we're doing s'mores. Fire pit's about 12 foot from the grill, but hey, what the heck?
Hey, you can roast hot dogs on that. Come on.
Yep. Oh yeah. As long as you're cooking, it's legal. So.
Oh, that's weird considering
over an open fire.
My house has been getting buzzed by California Department of Fire aircraft all day.
Yeah, and fires are probably a little stricter out in your area, so.
Well,
half of my state isn't actually literally burning. It's burning, but not literally.
Well, it's not too bad yet this year. Give it another month and a half, and yeah, it probably will be all on fire. Whatever's left it from the last several years. But no, that's for about a mile and a half south of me is the one of the big, it's a retired, Air Force, base. So that's where the CDF uses it as one of their primary Northern California air attack bases.
Yeah. So you probably got a lot of air traffic then, definitely.
Well, one came over earlier. I just about could see the pilot's face.
Pyro
pretty
over
low.
there. That's something. Well, it's got to be a pain, like if you're trying to take a nap or something. They're
Not
that
that big
low.
a deal.
Yeah, after a while you get used to it, so have a hard time sleeping without it after a while.
When it's the little ones coming in, don't bother me. When you start seeing the 747 super tankers coming in, there's a big fire somewhere.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, those things, and they drop a lot of water. You don't
Oh
want
yeah,
one,
they do.
you don't want those things accidentally dropping water on your house.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
No, you think flood insurance would cover it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Hopefully, Uncle Sam would handle that one.
Would that
Somebody
be
would be in some trouble.
God?
That's for sure.
Pat, we're getting an echo from you. You're the culprit that's giving the echo. I don't know. Or if you got headphones or not.
How's that? Is that any better or not?
Leave your mic open. Leave your mic open so we can then somebody talks and find out. Yeah, you're still getting an echo. You know, flood insurance is Uncle Sam, so I don't know. Maybe they might throw it under flood insurance. I mean, your house will definitely be flooded, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, something like that happened. I think it's kind of hard to, call it an act of God, or it was just a freak storm. So,
Yeah, that's for especially by the time they're landing, they should be empty. If they're coming back with a full load and dropping them, if my house ain't on fire, they shouldn't be dropping a full, 80,000 gallons or whatever the heck it is of water on my house.
it's a lot of weight
Hey man, it's
with
something
motion.
mechanical. Mechanical things can fail. Could you imagine having that happen to you? Those things flying over your house and just all of a sudden mechanical failure hits and you just got hit with a flood reminiscent of Noah's.
I don't know. It'd be worse, water or flame retardant. Honestly, having that much chemicals drop down on you, it's probably lighter, but I don't know.
No, the flame, and it's not lighter. It's the flame retardant. They add a chemical powder to water, so it's basically the same weight. Because
Okay.
either way, it's 8 pounds per gallon.
Yeah, it would be a bad
that's
situation.
your roof's not going to handle that snow load. That's for sure, or a load like that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad situation if something like that were to happen to somebody.
Yeah, just keep the camera on in case it does drop. We want to see.
Yeah, we want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where download this from YouTube and use it as evidence in the case if necessary.
Yeah. You're gonna have to set up a trail cam in your front yard pointed up at the sky.
There you
Pickle
go.
got wiped out by a tsunami.
Yeah, a tsunami of one house.
I've seen houses that are actually pink with fire retardant before because they can release it in small amounts if they want to. Especially smaller aircraft that can be even more controlled. I've seen a few of them that's where black. All of a sudden, the entire house is pink and it's still standing because of the fire retardant.
It's got to suck, but I guess depending on how close your house is to the fire, you might be happy.
Well, the ones that I saw, the fire burned their back lawn, but the house survived because of the fire retardant.
Nice. I wouldn't be complaining in that circumstance.
But there's an interview with the owners like, it's going to take a few days of pressure washing to get it off, but we're perfectly okay with that.
Yep, that's a good deal.
And Pickle's going to be the first person ever living in the Sacramento area to get hit with a tsunami.
Right.
You make Guinness for sure.
I seen you on on Steven's show there, Buck. Looked like it went pretty good until it got interrupted by a jerk, but
yeah, had a couple of them.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe you can talk to him or talk to somebody. I don't know if you have contacts, but try to see that don't happen again.
I think I figured out who in the hell it was. Now I'm going to talk to Steven about it.
Yeah, he needs to set up some mods and stuff too. If people are pulling that crap in the chat too.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure if he knows how's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
People are doing fireworks, but of course I keep missing them.
Yeah, they were doing fireworks here earlier. I was like, what the hell was that? 'Cause the first one sounded like a damn shotgun going off. Then all of a sudden you heard them in rapid succession. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yep.
Midnight, that's a discussion for a private chat, brother. You asked what happened on Steven's show. That's not a discussion for when we're live.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing. Very distasteful.
No, I wasn't saying that he can't submod. I'm saying I don't know if he knows how to. You know, I don't know if anybody ever showed him how to do it. With him being new to it. Everything.
Yeah, somebody needs to show him.
Yeah, I wanted to show him some things after we were done when I was on his show, but his parents told me he had to get off the computer, so I didn't get a chance to.
I'm new to all this live chat stuff, and I don't know if I could show him how to do it or not.
Well, set somebody a mod. It's real simple. On the YouTube chat, you just hit the 3 dots, and
Yeah,
you can just set as moderator.
but I doubt if he knows how to give anybody a wrench.
Yeah, he does. He uses StreamYard, so in StreamYard, you don't think you can. So that's the problem. I don't think he doesn't pop the chat out. He uses just built-in chat, and you can't mod people that way. You can put people in timeout and you can block them, but you can't put them in. You can't moderate it. Make them a moderator. Which is one of the
I've been on a few. I've watched a few chats of people that are new to the whole live stream stuff and that don't have mods, and the chats usually end up going awry. That's where I've told a few of them that's where you need to mod somebody that you trust to get out there and help you deal with that stuff.
Yeah, I have a few moderators out there, and I know if somebody comes in here doing something they're not supposed to, they'll take care of the problem. But I still keep an eye on the chatter, myself too. So.
Yeah, there's been a few.
It would definitely.
Go ahead.
Definitely be helpful. I got quite upset about it this evening, but there wasn't much I could do. So, somebody, his guardian or somebody he can deal with, but definitely somebody's got to help him out or address that.
Yeah. Seven asks who's Steven. The Steven Sheets. He's a developmentally challenged young man who is out there putting himself out there doing live streams. He does recorded videos as well where he's doing different songs and stuff. And there's a bunch of us are trying to support him in it, and he's really getting into it because he's doing a live stream like 3 or 4 days a week. So he's sometimes twice a day. He did 2 today. He did one this morning and one right before I went live. So he's really getting into it. He likes doing it. And if you go watch one of his videos one of his music videos where he's doing a cover of somebody's song, he can sing too. And he's got a memory like a steel trap, man. He'll go through Jeff Foxworthy and he'll do Jeff Foxworthy's whole act. He remembers it verbatim.
Yeah, we went through that tonight. Thank you there, Rich.
There's that beautiful fire pit again.
Yep. Yeah,
That's the stuff right there. That's the stuff.
Hey, Pat,
how
it
we
kind of
do
looks
it.
like he made that fire pit out of 2x4s, don't it?
That's kind of what it looks like. What'd you make that out of?
Actually just framed it in, and made it with some scrap lumber and Portland cement, some little bit of mortar mix, and stones I had around out of the driveway that I was trying to get rid of anyway, and some chain link fence for almost like a rebar mesh or something like that. So, but I did it kind of quick. The form got a little funky. The front side, which you guys probably can't tell, side to this side here or whatever, is a little thicker than the other side, but yeah, it all came out all right. So
Well, why'd you have to say that? I didn't notice it, but now.
well, stop looking at it,
Well, now.
kids.
Well, as soon as you point out something that's wrong, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, no, you're right."
Little things like that bug me, but when you work in carpentry and things like that, details are what make it or break it. So,
Hey, Rob.
Yep.
That is totally cruel to show the picture.
Oh,
That happening.
I'm sorry. I could mail it to you, but I don't know how it would work out.
Just get on a plane and bring it to me.
You got to get Snob to drive over. He's probably on the road with your car right now, I'm betting. So.
He's
that
at
was earlier.
home.
That was during Gary's show.
He's driven that car more than I have.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, geez, you got robbed.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting to be in Oklahoma City for a month yet. I thought I had some time before I could.
Well, hell, Stacy, you got fireworks all night long.
Yeah, that part is not all of them are fireworks.
Yeah, that's the wrong kind of fireworks. Those fireworks, have
I
little.
literally have 3 pistols here.
Snob took the rifle back with him.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job, Snob. You should have left the rifle with her. She needs it more than you do right now.
I probably do better. I probably do better at the pistols, anyways.
Okay, I must have missed something. I didn't realize you'd been in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, her sister had heart surgery, so she's been staying with her.
Yeah, my sister went on that. She was been doing all these tests and stuff since October to get put on the heart transplant list, and she got put on a heart transplant list on Monday. On a Monday, 4 days later, we got the call that we had a heart. We thought we had at least a little bit more time, but 4 days on the list.
That's rare.
Yeah, well, she's lucky because she's a universal recipient. She has AB blood, so she can receive any heart compared to, most people. But so she's about 2 weeks post-op right now. So she goes back in and does a biopsy tomorrow. But she has to go. She's out, but she has to be in Oklahoma City if you live more than 60 miles away, because they have to do weekly biopsies. So I'm here till at least the first week of July, about July 1st to July 3rd. So he's been coming down every weekend.
That's for how crazy have things been out there. That's for with the rally yesterday and all the stuff in Tulsa.
It wasn't too bad this weekend. It was pretty quiet this weekend, at least here. But the weekend before, we had these apartments right behind this Airbnb that's kind of low income apartments, and it's probably really close to my backyard. Like I can see into it. So there was gunshots and stuff out there for about hour and a half. The car would pull up and you hear gunshots and the car would leave and everything else. So that's why he brought his rifle back this week.
And Snob was out there talking crap and started a war.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Lovely.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like my area. So it's a shame because you wouldn't think so looking at it, but crime and drugs and people with issues travel, that's for sure.
I like the handle on your barbecue grill, by the way, there, Rob. What is that, 9/16?
I can't remember now. Yeah, it was one I found that was in a rusty bucket or whatever, so I figured I'd use that. It's a Harley Davidson oil drum. Needs a fresh coat of paint. So I zipped that in half and used a bed frame, welded that up, put the barrel in. The only thing I had to buy was the actual grating to do the cooking on. Couple sockets hooked to the wrench, and use that as a handle, and it works out pretty well. Honestly, it's been the best grill we've had. Had a few of those that you buy for $199 or whatever, and this and that, and 3 years later they're trash. The wheels want to fall off. Seems like even if you get a cover on them, they don't seem to last anymore. They're so dang thin. So had a lot better luck with this one. So should have just made my own grill to begin with, but yeah, go buy something expecting it to be halfway decent, and I'm always wrong.
Get yourself a steel drum, cut it in half, and put your own. Go buy one of those kits to change out the.
I saw the
burner.
kits. Yeah, you can do smokers and all types of stuff. Yeah, I left mine charcoal. You can run a gas burner in it or whatever. Yeah, I use propane for like the little Coleman stove I use camping and things like that. But at home or whatever, I usually, if I'm on a barbecue, I take the time to do charcoal or something. So to me, it's always better that way.
Yeah, I prefer charcoal for especially on the weekends when I've got the time. Especially because I'll actually.
Yeah, charcoal just gives it a flavor that gas doesn't, especially if you get the briquettes that have like the hickory scent in them and whatnot, and you get that hickory type smoke up in your burgers and stuff.
Oh hell, that's where I'll even do the. That's where I've got a buddy that has an orchard, so that's where I'll either get walnut or pecan, and that's where pecan is hickory family. So that's where I'll get that and just burn actually just a straight hardwood fire.
Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe getting one of those new grills that they have that use the pellets for the pellet stoves and see how that works. Have you guys seen those ones?
Yeah, a lot of those are nice, but man, they're not cheap. Like you can buy a stove for that price. Some of those, and then it gets me worrying about durability. Is it going to last? So
some of those things look like
if I'm paying.
Out of it. Yeah, some of those.
If I could buy a car for the price of a grill, I'm going to be pretty upset if it's toast in 5 years.
Yeah, some of those ones that are made, the wood pellet ones, they look like they were made out of a steel drum. Some of those.
Traeger seems to be pretty good. Those ones I know use the pellets, and and that's where I know Clover has a smoker that, I think it's a smoker / barbecue that it has a digital thermostat. I think it uses the pellets to moderate so that way it keeps the temperature for you.
Yeah, I've seen some of the prices on them pellet grills. They can get right high in price.
Oh yeah. For the right person, hey, why not? For me, I can't afford something like that for this. So
yeah, both the barbecues I have are given to me for free. That's the price tag I can afford right now.
There you go. Yeah.
G23 was asking how much you paid for that PMC 9mm, Rob.
I believe it was $15.99 for 50 rounds. FMJ. Yeah, that's what I said too. But there wasn't, didn't have much of a choice, and basically it was, get that or nothing, and I'd prefer to have something. So I'm not out or anything, but again, I like to try to replace what I use in a sense, so that way it keeps things, if I can't find anything at all, I'm not high and dry, because, what good is it if you don't have ammunition? You just got a bunch of paperweights, so.
Yeah, 15, that sounds like California prices for ammo.
Oh, he is in New York.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
true.
it was high. Well, even high for my area, honestly. So at least
Can you
two
still
dollars
order mail
higher than
order?
a normal shop like that.
Can you do mail order in New York on ammo?
Not to my knowledge. I can get it sent to an FFL, is what the FFL told me, but they're going to charge me $45 for a transfer fee. So, like to anything, they charge $45. So if you and I both walk in and I want to give you a gun just for to get them to call Nick's and do a check on you, which is ridiculous. But anyway, knowing that you're a legal gun owner, but just to do that is $45. Anything, it's $45 at least. So basically, I'd probably have to buy so much to get a discount that I'd probably end up getting flagged in my state. So,
ouch.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy.
I don't have to do a transfer on ammo, but that's where I do have to do a background check on ammo, and there's no mail order allowed. But
yeah, there wouldn't be a transfer on ammo. It would just be because the FFL had to accept it. They're not going to do it for free, so they're going to charge me the minimum $45 fee to accept it. So that's where I, kind of grin and say the heck with that. But
yeah,
another good reason to roll your own.
Yeah, I really should. So I've got a stockpile of lead, bunch of casings, basically got half the components just about. So I come across lead all the time, whether it's old boots for plumbing boots or whatever on roofs, or a lot of those are lead. Some of the flashing that's been used are all lead. Yeah. Some of
that's the hard part. That's where a lot of guys, that's where either they can get lead, but it's hard lead, or they, like try to use wheel weights, and a lot of it is not lead anymore, and this kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where.
Yeah, I use it for if I gotta use like a little wedge when I do flashing or something. I'll take the old boots and I'll cut off little wedges. You used to be able to buy them, but they're getting harder and harder to find. And then if I flash in a chimney or something like that, I'll tap in the little lead wedges in there and then go over it with a sealant. So it, it's nice and clean and goes right into the brick mortar line and looks professional, and don't slap a bunch of tar and crap up there to dry out in a year. I don't understand people, but see it all the time. But should be able to do a whole roof with like barely no tar. Anything like a sealant would be like on maybe around your boots here or there, and your last cap, like because you have exposed nails. Besides that, you shouldn't even need it. But if you do it right, but I've seen so much tar with new roofs, it's ridiculous. So yeah, it holds up great for 2 years.
That's the only time I've ever used tar on a roof is, an old roof that's got, and you're trying to band-aid it, get through, the second last half of the winter.
That's really all it's good for. So I've seen people dump it right down their valleys, and they get a few years, but man, what a mess, And eventually it dries right up again, and they have the issue again. So.
Oh, that's for, I don't know what the weather's like out where you're at, but I know in this area, one good summer of where we'll get 4 months where it'll be our highs will bounce between like 85 and 105. That's usually enough for whatever goop you put on in the winter to dry out and crack, and by the next winter it's no good anymore anyhow.
Yeah, here you usually get about 2 years, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Winters are kind of harsh, but it doesn't hold up. So just do it right, people. It's a lot easier just do it right the first time.
Yeah, because if you're having to pay someone to redo your roof after you put a bunch of goop on it, they're going to be dinging you hard price wise for having to spend the time for scraping all that crap off.
Yeah, off your pry bars, your tear off tools. It gets all over your ladders, and then God forbid you're wearing a glove and it gets on your glove, and then you touch the side of the house or something. Like, you can clean the siding, but you're never going to get it to look right again. So it's quite a mess.
Yeah, that's for I don't know. If I get a good supply of a soft lead like that, that's for. I need to get a lead pot so I can start melting down because I've got muzzleloader stuff, and I don't want to. I'm too cheap to go buy round balls and all that kind of and sabos constantly. It's it's a freaking percussion cap, slow twist, front stuffer. It's not fancy. It's not going to be take an ace at 300 yards round. It's going to be 30 yards and hit something the size of a watermelon if you're lucky.
Still close, it's still works for defensive range in a pinch, so nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's right.
I'm sure it'd make one heck of a mess too. So.
Yeah, that's like one of my buddies. He has a couple of different muzzle loaders, and that's where he has a mold for Manet balls, and I think they're 400 grain. It's a 50 caliber, round, but so like 400 grains of soft lead being pushed by. I think that rifle can go up to like 120 grains of powder substitute. It's a thumper.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great to be able to roll your own in a sense and things like that. So, and that would get you by if you had to, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone ever casted their own bullets before? I mean, pot and everything, and do the whole nine with that, like pistols, by any chance?
I haven't. I
for
almost
like
was haggling with it.
That's where I haven't. My buddy has, and that's where powder coat them so that way they they don't jam them in his pistol. Cause that's where he found the the homemade cast didn't run well in an M&P Shield, but worked fine in a Browning high power. So it just kind of depends on the gun.
Yeah, it depends on the rifling and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, that's for not just the rifling for accuracy, but it's also the feed ramp and magazine because his just wouldn't feed.
Yeah, that's the barrel, the feed ramp. Well, on the Smith, on the M&Ps, the feed ramp's part of the barrel. So it's like any of you guys watched the video I did on the Lone Wolf barrel for my Shield? Talk about a barrel.
No, I didn't catch that.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, you need to go watch that. I mean, this and you'll see why I refuse to do business with Lone Wolf going forward, because the barrel is off, and I send it into them once for repair. They send it back to me saying the barrel was fine. They said they were going to send me a box, send it back to them again for them to look at. They never did. So that was before we moved here.
That's the only Lone Wolf. I didn't know Lone Wolf made Shield barrels. I thought they only made Glock barrels, but
no, they do. They have stuff for M&Ps too. Or at least they did. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah. The main reason I was asking about the casting deal is there was a company that started about a little over a year ago, and they do casting bullets, and they just make a whole bunch of pills out of lead. And a lot of guys I know, they've been running in rifles for hunting and stuff like that, and target shooting, just messing around for reloading and stuff. And they'd offered some pistol stuff. So I just didn't know if anybody had anything to say about that. I didn't experience with it.
Kingpin, I don't know if you can see the YouTube chat, but Kingpin's throwing a couple of links out there for you on that front for people that have done it, like Chico Wise and some of the other guys out there.
Okay,
tried getting a pot at the flea market here just this last weekend, and they had a cast iron one. It wasn't too big, but I figured it would probably work. But Holy crap! The lady hit me like it was an antique store, and she was trying to get me for $100 for it. I was like, "You got to be crazy!" So I passed on that deal. But I'm still trying to
Well,
slowly
and that's where
collect
the
the
cast
things.
iron, cast iron, that's a seriously old school way of doing it. That's for, I'm looking at getting one of the electric ones that, has a freaking built-in thermostat for us. So you just plug it into now it's best to do it outside, away from the house, use an extension cord. So that way you got plenty of ventilation, because you do not want to breathe that crap. But, yeah, that's for, I think, for $100, I think you can just about get a new electric one. So, a cast iron pot, that's pretty priced.
That's what I thought. That was kind of ridiculous. So like I said, it was. I think she was trying to hit me like an antique store instead of a flea market. I'm like, geez, they sell ones like this. I was just looking at I think they had one at the grocery store for like $45, but it was kind of shallow, and so I'm thinking, I'd rather get something a little bigger. But if you don't know, I always try to do things the cheap way. So I figured if I could just do a pod or something like that, and do it outside, it'd probably get away with it. So I also looked into building my own little furnace, you could state, because I would assume that can't be that difficult to do either. So I guess it's like some type of plaster mortise mix or something. I'd have to figure out more about it, but don't see any reason why I couldn't do that.
To me, it looks like more of a hassle to do that. Be cheaper just go out and buy them.
Yeah, it probably would, but I'm the cheap guy.
Well, and we gotta start wrapping up. Midnight just sent his links out, so we'll start with Buck. You got any thing you want to throw out there? Any plugs, words of wisdom, anything?
Just be safe. Stay away from the statues. And thanks for the invite.
Yep, no problem. Speaking of that, the funniest thing come out of the statues things when the guy pulled the one down on top of himself. I'm sorry, but I had to laugh at that one. Probably by karma being in full effect, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
So next we got we'll say goodbye to Rob. Anything you want to plug? Any words of wisdom you want to throw out there?
Thanks for joining us, and may the force be with you.
You're a month late, Rob. May the 4th was last month.
Typical. I'm trying.
All right. Pat, what about you? Anything you want to plug? Any words you want to share? Anything?
No, not really. Just wanted to say thanks for having me on tonight. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day. All the fathers out there and everything. And, yeah, just stay safe, carry your weapon, and try to stay away from all the riots. You'll live longer.
Yeah, and whatever you do, don't pull statues down on top of yourself, right?
Exactly.
All right. Kingpin, what about you, brother?
Thanks for having me, man. If you're looking for reloading and casting and how much you save and how much you should do, like anything that you could possibly have, go back and check all those links that I put in the chat. I got 3 or 4 more that I can give you. If you can't see the chat or you don't want to go back and watch it, send me an email and I'll email you links to everybody. And real quick, the way casting saves you money is you could get lead for free. You can pick lead up off the street and melt it down for free. So that's how casters save money. But get in contact with me or go back in the chat. And there's all kinds of real good information there from some cool people that can help you with casting and reloading.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want, just get Rich to send you my email address, and then I can email you a whole bunch of different channels.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you should have it if you look in the email address line of the link email. His email should be up there already. If not, let me know. I'll get that to you.
All right.
All right, I'll go back and look.
And last but not least, Pickle. Anything you want to plug or any words of wisdom? I know you're not old enough to really have any wisdom, but you know.
Thanks, Rich. That's the only
You
thing
knew it
I've
was
got.
coming sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
Nice
Only
guy.
thing I've got to plug is that I'm still looking for a few more participants for Pass the Mag. If you can get it to me by this Friday, 'cause I'll be doing some editing over the weekend of this next weekend. I've only got a total of I think 5 people right now. If you have questions as to what Pass the Mag is, you can email me at calaverse32special.com. Same just as it's written here on my name on the screen. Sorry, not .com. It's calaverse32special@gmail.com, and I also have a website, but and I can give you more information for those who want it. Thanks for the invite, Rich.
Yep, no problem. And on that note, we will bid everybody adieu for this week, and we will hopefully see you all back next week. And have a good week. And this is where you throw out your taglines, guys.
Stay safe.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Have a good night.
It wasn't me.
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything. There's the button on this one. Then it wasn't I used the duck.